We're here with Ashlee Marie Preston, who is a journalist and an activist. And I want the final portion of our conversation to focus on activism. What is effective activism to you?
I just want to be clear and say that activism and organizing are two separate things, and they're often conflated. Activism, personally, in all honesty, I would even always refer to myself as an activist because that hints that there's a choice in it. And I think activism is a privilege. For me, it's just survival. What do I have to do in the world? How do I have to show up to get people to not only see me, but to take their foot off my neck so that I have greater odds of surviving? And so when you look at organizing, it's taking a look at the structural barriers that are in place and being strategic about how you approach these issues and mobilizing, getting other people involved in the conversation, taking census of these issues, not just deciding for yourself what should be done, but really bringing the community into the conversation and making it collaborative. I would like to consider myself more of an organizer in that sense. And so for those people who are interested in getting involved, I think there's many different ways. Not everyone is always going to be on the front line at a protest, but maybe you are an employer of a corporation that has an opportunity to hire diverse candidates for a job. You can hire trans people, you can hire women. Maybe you are in the writing room for a TV show and you're talking about this community that isn't reflected in the writing room. You can bring them into that space. Maybe you're someone, like there's just so many different ways, but I think that the best way to be an activist is to build relationships.
Yes.
When we grow up as kids, we're taught that the good kids get all the great presents and the bad kids get a stocking full of coal.
Right.
And when we grow up, we find out that the truth is that some of the bad kids get all the shiny toys and the good kids get the coal. And so working in the community, cross community to achieve power together, I've learned that when life gives you coal, build coalitions. And so it's important for women of all walks of life to support other women. It is important for people of color to support other people of color. As a Black activist, I always reach out to people who are experiencing discrimination or who are being prohibited from achieving for tapping into the American dream. So I work with brown people, I work with Middle Eastern people, anybody who has a similar struggle. So I would definitely say look more at the similarities, because the truth is that if they come for me in the morning, they'll come for you in the evening. And we've started to see that under this current administration, who started out with the transgender community in the first week. And then all of a sudden, it became the travel ban for Muslim Americans. And then all of a sudden, it was women. And then all of a sudden, it was going back to trans children, because he pulls out the trans card whenever things are getting sticky and we're on his heels.
Right.
So because he knows that the transgender community is one of the easier scapegoats, because you have women who still don't see trans women as women. You have African Americans who still sometimes think that trans or LGBTQ issues are secondary, and they're actually a distraction from Black liberation as a whole. And you even have the LGBTQ identified individuals who aren't ready to look at their racism, sexism, and transphobia, so they play right into it. And so,
yeah. Well, it was such a pleasure to speak with you. I'm suspecting that this is the last conversation we're gonna have. You're such a wonderful guest and such a wonderful person. Thank you for coming in and sharing your story. And where can people find more of you? Your social media, maybe some of the work that they can follow?
Well, first, thank you for having me. And you can follow me on Instagram at Ashlee Marie Preston, ASHLEE. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Ashlee M Preston. And then my Facebook is open, so you can check me out there.
Awesome, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who's watching or listening. Oh, did you like that video? Well, that's great, because you never have to miss another episode of No Filter. All you have to do is just hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to get notified whenever we publish a new video.